Imagine living in a neighborhood where privacy and safety are stripped away by one ridiculous rule. That's exactly what happened when our HOA, led by Karen, passed a mandate requiring every homeowner to keep their garage doors open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. She claimed it was to prevent people from secretly living in garages, but everyone knew it was another power trip. My tools, bikes, and even my kids' sports gear were now sitting in plain sight for anyone walking by. Before we dive in, comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this story travels. At first, neighbors thought Karen was joking, but she wasn't. The HOA sent out notices threatening fines of $200 a day for non-compliance. I remember standing in my driveway staring at the paper, furious. My garage was my workspace, my storage, my safe place. And now Karen wanted it wide open for strangers, delivery guys, and even potential thieves to peek into. I asked her about it at the next HOA meeting. She stood there, pearls around her neck, smug grin on her face, and said, "If you're not hiding anything, then you have nothing to worry about." The room went silent. A few people nodded nervously, others looked down, but I could tell most were too scared of her to argue. The real problem came only days later. With my garage forced open, I came home from work and noticed something missing. My lawnmower. Gone. Just like that. The HOA brushed it off, saying it was coincidental and not connected to the rule. That's when I realized Karen wasn't just being nosy. She was setting us up for disaster. And disaster was exactly what was coming. It didn't take long before the cracks in Karen's rules started to show. Within 2 weeks, 3 neighbors reported stolen bikes. Another had his power tools disappear right from under his workbench. Every single theft had one thing in common. It happened during the day, with garages wide open because of the HOA mandate. I called Karen directly and said, "This rule is making us targets." Her response? A laugh, followed by, "Maybe you should invest in better locks. Or are you just blaming me for your own carelessness?" That's when I knew. She didn't care about safety at all. She wanted control. If you're enjoying this HOA story so far, like and subscribe for more content like this. I refuse to let her win. I dug through county ordinances and state property laws, and sure enough, I found it. California Civil Code 4515, which protects homeowners from HOA rules that violate privacy and security rights. I printed it out and brought it to the next HOA meeting, placing it right on the table. Karen barely glanced at it before rolling her eyes. The board already voted. The rule stands. That's when things turned ugly. A retired vet down the street closed his garage in protest. 2 days later, Karen showed up with a clipboard, took pictures, and slapped him with a $400 fine taped right to his front door. Another neighbor whispered to me, "She's treating us like we live in her kingdom." Meanwhile, my wife came home one afternoon to find a stranger standing in our garage looking over the shelves. When she yelled, he bolted. The sheriff's deputy we filed a report with told us flat out, "This rule is reckless. If I were you, I'd start documenting everything." So I did. Photos, dates, HOA notices, and every theft report I could get my hands on. I was building a case, and I knew it was only a matter of time before Karen's little empire came crashing down. The breaking point wasn't far off, and it was about to get explosive. The breaking point came faster than I thought. One Saturday afternoon, a neighbor's security camera caught exactly what we'd all suspected. Karen and her so-called HOA security volunteer walking up and down the street, checking open garages like they owned them. At one point, the man ducked inside and carried out a box of power tools. The footage was crystal clear. That video spread like wildfire in our community group chat. Neighbors who had been scared to speak up suddenly had proof that Karen wasn't just enforcing a bad rule, she was enabling theft. By Monday morning, half the neighborhood demanded an emergency HOA meeting. I showed up with a folder of evidence: theft reports, citations, copies of California Civil Code 4515, and the security footage burned onto a flash drive. When the video played on the projector, the room went silent. Karen's face drained of color, but she tried to bluff. That's taken out of context. We were conducting safety inspections. Safety inspections don't end with people's property disappearing, I said. My wife, in uniform that night, stepped forward and added, "And impersonating security while enabling burglary is a crime. The sheriff's department will be following up." The room erupted. Neighbors shouted, demanding Karen's resignation on the spot. Her so-called enforcer slipped out the back door before the meeting was even over. By the end of the night, the board voted to suspend her powers pending a full investigation. A week later, Karen was charged with conspiracy and aiding theft. The HOA cop was hit with burglary and impersonation charges. Every bogus fine she had issued was reversed, and the county formally struck down her open garage mandate. Now, when I pull into my driveway and close my garage door without fear of a fine, I can't help but smile. Karen thought she was untouchable, but the law proved otherwise.